Hello, everyone, and welcome to Roll with Advantage. My name is Joe, and boy, is it great to be here. Very excited for today's session number 47 of the Isles of Iverion. To sleep, perchance to dream. There's the rub. Yeah, I do know that it's Shakespeare, Caitlin. Thanks. So that is the title of today's session, and with that, we're gonna roll the intro, and that way we can dive right on in. Let's do it, girl. And we are back. So with that, we're going to go ahead and dive right into the session, like I said. So as is tradition here on Rolled Advantage, instead of me doing the summaries, I have the players do the summaries. So players, who's doing the summary this week?
I'm pretty sure it's me. Right?
Well, then,
yeah.
River?
Yeah.
Do the summary then. Huh? Get to it. Chop, chop.
Go. Okay.
Please and thank you.
So,
whenever you're ready.
last session, the party all arrived at the inn in Wheat Hill. We talked to the barmaid. We found out about some weird nightmares that started a few years ago, but have got really, really bad in the last few years. So we decided we're going to investigate. Lila also, thankfully, with her magic, is able to break the curse that was put on her by Parido. So hopefully that's all gone and it'll all be good. The party finds Alistair, who was doing a little bit of investigating whilst we were on our way here. He found a couple things, mostly that the Children of the Flame have been here a while and they've killed 3 people, claiming that they were Dark Friends, and displayed their bodies outside of a keep. And that somebody called the Huntsman is fighting the Children of the Flame and protecting people, but no one really knows who they are. Also, that a woman arrived not that long ago, asking for Eurydice, claiming to be a friend of Bianca. So, the party go to look at the bodies at the keep. Not really getting much there, but an elven man, kind of passing by, bumps into Nalfi and slips a note into his pocket, telling us to meet him at the Lodge of the Huntsman tomorrow night. Bit sus, but I don't really know much about that right now. The party then goes to see Bishop Aida from Sandpoint, who came along to help build this new temple. There we also find Bishop Redimni, who thanks us for helping Brandon, and tells us about his friendship with the boys. Best spin-off, we need that.
Yes.
We talk to Ida. She tells us about the nightmares, the town full of darkness. It expresses an uncertainty about Children of the Flame, and if the people they are killing are deserving of that. She also tells us a bit about Yuri's parents' house and the old temple, claiming they are infected, and maybe a source of this darkness. She offers us some help in that she can get one of the bodies from the keep, bring it to the temple, and therefore Lila will be able to use her magic to talk to them and figure out what's on. So that's what the party planned to do the next morning. First of all, though, the group thanks her and talks to Bishop Redimni. Twig asks him about what he might know about her mother, Elizabeth Forrester, and he recounts a book written by the Black Rose, talking about how Twig's mother was unfortunately killed at Hazran's Hollow, but that some mysterious person or protector, presumably Nalavir, helps Twig, the baby, to escape, and she is protected by the forest. The group then find Bianca's friend Keofi in a camp with Goliaths, who she's brought along to help us fight this darkness in Wheat Hill. She tells us about the runaways, time travel, Imriel, Bianca shooting horses, and the 13. And it's a lot. She offers us help and we accept, coming back with us to Wheat Hill, where we go and investigate the temple next, the burned down one. That's very, very decrepit. Where we see a group of people doing something really fucking shady, who run off as soon as we appear and escape through one of the walls. We find necromancy, transmutation, evocation, all in a fog around this area, and broken talismans to Asmodeus covered by these other trinkets dedicated to the Dark One. Lila, thankfully, with some good foresight, is able to unburn a basin full of ash, where she finds pieces of paper with all the PCs and some NPCs from the free campaigns, names kind of written across them. Nothing happens when we burn them or look at them, but it's a bit weird nonetheless. Eventually, Draven Hunt, again, the nemesis, shows up, seeming a bit sus, but there's nothing we can do about that right now. That evening, Eurydice talks to a tavern keep, in disguise, and finds out that apparently she's dead. Eurydice Greenleaf died 2 years ago, which seems pretty fucking weird. And on top of that apparently there were 2 bodies found in the house where she died. It's a bit weird. We don't really know what's going on. So, since we're gonna go investigate that today and hopefully figure out what the fuck's going on. Also, that the huntsman disappeared around 18 years ago, but reappeared recently. Nalfion comforts her. They talk about how Eurydice's feeling, and also Nalfion's uncertainty and stress about trying to be a knight and trying to be good enough for his friends. And Eurydice tries to give him some comfort and kisses him to show that she cares about him and that he is enough. Twig and Lila also have deep conversation as they open up about why they think they struggle more to break out of their nightmares. And Lila expresses her pride for Twig and how much she has done for her name, and it shows her she would do great things. Twig also receives a very well-timed message from Brandon saying how much he misses her and hopes that she is okay and that, well, just general love and great things, and the party all try to sleep best they can in this nightmare-filled town.
Correct. Yes, thank you very much. So, with that, all of you on this very, very, very taxing night eventually do find rest. The one thing that is interesting to you, and this was a mistake that I made at the end of last session, is that as all of you head to sleep, on this night, you do not have any nightmares. I wanted to be very clear about that. The one odd thing is that your dreams, at least upon your waking, are empty. One of those things where it's like you closed and opened your eyes, and apparently 8 or 4 hours had passed, depending on how you your character gets that rest that they need. So, with that, we go ahead and cut to the morning. Now, the first person to wake up is Lila. As Lila, you have had quite the heavy past couple of weeks, and in your meditation, you rest for your 4 hours after everyone seemed to have finally come to a close, finally calmed down. And you spent your 4 hours meditating, but then you waking up from your meditation, that sort of blink, and then you're feeling fully rested. You begin to have a few questions. You go to your notes that you had taken while you were on the southern coast of the northern peninsula near the Golden Sisters, the notes about the stars. This is the first time you've really had a chance to look at them at all, ever since that moment. And
yeah,
I would like to say before you do that, sorry, you do just feel there's this dull sensation all over your body right now, like when like your leg falls asleep, and then you're kind of like walking on it. It's not too bad. It's just like slightly noticeable, where it's this like slight stinging sensation, but it's
all over her body.
Yeah, but it's barely noticeable, like 1/100th of the sensation you feel when your leg falls asleep, but it's just everywhere. Just odd. After 5 or 10 minutes, you get used to it, and then it's like it's nothing, but it's something you notice.
That is interesting. Okay. Well, she'll kind of like shake her arm and legs and just trying to be like, "Ooh, that's a little interesting," trying to walk it off. But yeah, she will like start flipping through her notes, and she'll start to kind of like gather things now that she's had a lot of time to like step away from that, and kind of like not wanting to make a bunch of noise or anything. I think she would go, I think you said like Keothi got a room, but now she's in Blossom's room, so maybe she'll go to that empty room.
Yeah.
And she will just kind of like sprawl out with her notes, kind of like pacing back and forth. She'll take out her wand. I imagine it's charmed that she can like flip, like not like Eurydice's telepathy, but just a charm where she can like flip things magically with her wand while she's like thinking and like pulling papers to her, just
sure,
flavor wise.
Yeah.
But so yeah, she's just kind of like flipping through things, and she has like quite a few questions, like remembering the moment of why Finch was so afraid when they were on the boat, that he felt like he was being watched and became very paranoid. That why did so he specifically was attacked, and Lila was captured but not attacked, and Finch's like incessant like, come with me, stay with me, and Lila couldn't figure that out when she knew she wasn't being watched. Also remembering that stars are part of Celestia, so why would there be like, yes, she chalked it up to, you know, evil can do anything kind of, it's very powerful, but like why would there be stars still in the sky for something that is evil? That question's still kind of lingering. And then also like remembering, especially talking with Twig, that the Dowie had kind of like this, you know, veil of like darkness over their name for a long time, and so maybe it's a similar situation. But also Puabi and this golden sister seemed friendly at the very least, even though they couldn't really talk to Puabi about it. So she'll kind of just like those questions just kind of lingering, but she can't really find any answers. They're just more questions. So she will start to draw, I think with like in her tools and stuff, she'll take out her constellation map and then with chalk on the ground start to draw out the constellation exactly, and then some symbols of Corleone. And then she's going to think to herself, like trying to like commune with him, what would be like the best option. And she'll kind of like open the window, noticing that the sun's coming up, so she's like, that's kind of nature, it kind of stars, I don't really know if that would work. And she'll pace a little bit and then be like, if only I had like music of some kind, that would help a lot. And then she'll stop. She's like, oh, I know someone who does music. And she will go and seek out Alistair to wake him up in the morning and see if he'll play a tune for her. So
Okay, yeah.
I don't know if he'd be in the room or if he'd be in someone else's room.
Yeah, so you go to his room, the one that he was staying at, the Nalfian went to, and you sort of knock on the door, and you do hear a response in this scenario. The door seems to be actually locked, and you hear, as it's about 4 a.m., 5 a.m.
Very early.
You hear, who's there? Oh, sorry, love. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Oh, yep, you too. Sorry, sir. Sorry. Okay, all right.
Sir.
And you hear footsteps towards the door as he opens the door, and you can see Alistair standing there, and you can see that he has this very thin piece of cloth on, and that is it. Looks to be some type of fancy underwear of some kind. That
right.
is, yep. And he kind of opens it and says, "Yes, I thought that I had ordered the food for the."
Hello.
And he kind of shuts the door a little bit, and like covers himself with the door. Lila.
Sorry to bother you.
No, you're bothering anything. I was just sleeping.
I know it's early.
Yep.
But I have a request, and I feel like it's an easy one for you to fulfill. If you don't mind lending me some music to help me with something.
Sure. I'm happy to help. Like right now, or can I get dressed first?
Like right now.
And you can see his face kind of grimaces.
I mean, you can get dressed.
A pair of pants at least. Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
All right. I'll be right there. Whew. And he kind of shuts the door, and you Do you look in the room, or do you just?
No.
Okay, all right.
She's fine. She knows.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you, whatever world war is happening in there, you avert your gaze, and you don't. You can hear a slight bit of scuffling, chest opening, the threading of different clothes on, flapping of fabric, until eventually opens the door, fully dressed, hair a little bit askew, but he kind of pushes it off to the side. Oh, much better. Oh, and he goes back in and he grabs his lyre.
Thank you.
Of course, yeah.
And then she'll lead him down the hallway. Just come this way. I'll try to explain it. So basically, and then she'll like open up the door, and there's just like a mess of like papers. There's chalk drawings on the ground. The window's open to try and connect to nature with Corellian. And she's gonna be like, okay, so I know. It's part of my dissertation, but also part of just the journey our group is on. I've been trying to figure something out for a while now, and I feel like the answer is somewhere like right under my nose or something, or just anything else, but I need help from my god. And the way I connect with him is normally through nature or the stars, but another option with him is he really enjoys music, and I'm not as skilled. I think I could really use some help communing with him if there was some music.
Okay. Yeah.
Just like a small ballad or something while I guess pray. I don't normally have someone help me commune with him. It's been more of a personal journey for me, but I just don't think I can do it on my own right now.
Okay. Definitely can help with that. I just like, you're like really confident on all of this, right? It's not like I had a really bad interaction with a man who lived in White Harbor, who also thought that he was communing with a giant thing in the sky that he said was like a giant tentacly monster that was like sleeping, and he was trying to wake it up, and he needed me to play some music then, and I really wasn't getting a good vibe from that. And I get really good vibes from you, and I want to make sure that like this isn't gonna like do something bad. Like, this is like just a thing for you that's like good, that will help.
Yeah, it's gonna be the same kind of magic that helped save our friend in the last town and break his curse.
Got it. Great. I just, safety first, right?
I don't blame you. Yeah, just random 4 a.m. requests. Of course, I know you clearly don't mind doing those. She'll give him like an up and down, and then sit down on the ground, maybe around like her constellation drawing, and she's like, okay, whenever you're ready, I am basically ready as well. And she'll just grab a couple papers, maybe draw a few last items, completing some of her mage stuff. I don't know enough about this shit, but yeah. And then kind of close her eyes,
it's all make
windows
believe, so.
open. I know. I don't know much about make believe. And then kind of close our eyes, trying to like feel like the wind, and then kind of wait for the music.
Okay. All right. So he'll kind of sit down in the corner of the room, far out of the way of anything, and he'll just start plucking away and humming along with it, just creating some very light, soft music that sort of begins to echo throughout the room.
And then she will place her hand on her symbol and say, Corellian, please help guide my mind to the answers that are in front of me. I know they're here. I just need to connect the dots. Please open my mind. And she'll wait. She'll wait.
Okay. Go ahead and make a religion check for me.
Okay, religion.
Okay.
That'll be a 24.
24. Okay. So as you sit in the sort of middle of this circle, all of these papers just eventually slowly coming to a soft rest around you. Alistair playing the music in the corner, echoing throughout the room. You do feel a connection be made between you and Corellian. As you breathe in and breathe out, you feel that same sort of feeling you felt back in Midglen. Or not in Midglen, sorry, Riverbend. In Riverbend, when those wisps of blue and green and purple magic had swirled around you and then in you. And you can feel that same thing begin to happen as your prayer is almost broken up as you hear Alistair go, "Holy shit, what the and he cuts himself off as these like wisps of green and purple and blue energy begin to swirl all around you. This sort of like northern lights effect, cascading all around the room, moving and shifting different sheets of paper. And as you close your eyes and then open them, you don't see a person or an entity other than you and Alistair in the room, but what you do see is all of the information that was down at your feet has now elevated all around you. These astral projections of notes and data and information. The constellations literally come up off the ground from the chalk surrounding you. And you can see this very basic map of the world beneath it at your feet. As you see connections, these sort of threads that pull down from the constellations, and you can see them tethered to different areas. Certain areas tethering to Tarkir, and you think of stories that you've heard about some of these people, whether it be Good King Omen, the first king of Tarkir, or one of his great-great-great-great-grandchildren. The return of Omen, Wyatt. And you can see all of these different connections that you know serve as heroes and served people who did such great things that caused the world itself to change. And you can identify most of them, but that same thing happens that happened before, where you had done this, but you noticed that there were 5 constellations that weren't connected to any heroes. But one thing that you're seeing now is a collection in places where you can kind of see a direct one-to-one connection to where there's a constellation connecting to a place, but there is no person there. There's no entity there that you know of. It would just be a constellation for some great hero with no story attached to it, no truth in the world about them. And you see 5 of those. You see one, and I'm going to go ahead and mark these on this territory map here, just that way we got some clarity here. You see one in a place where you already knew and explored that you were able to deduce from your findings. That was where the Golden Sisters were. That area has a thread connecting down to it from a constellation. There is another one on the northern border of Iverion to the Western Salamander. There is a third one, surprising to you, in Hazran's Hollow, a place that you know is connected very heavily to Twig. The fourth one is located in that south of the Scorched Valley in the realm of Macavia that you would know. And then finally, fifth and final one is located in the Goldstone Peaks, which is right around where the sort of border between Iverion and Tarkir gets a little bit more iffy, just because there is a vast mountain range that you can't really colonize on, except for on the one part that Tarkir has access to. But it is known that in almost all of these places, and this is something the party would have shared with you, in almost all of these places, aside from where the Golden Sisters exist, there is a Dowie ruin very close by. And I'll go ahead and I can pull you all here so you can see it a little bit more. And I can fill these in with a little bit more color. But there are black circles where those are.
Okay, I see them.
Ooh, actually, let me go over these in a lilac pink. There we go. Boom. Boom. Azran's Hollow. Coldstone Peaks. And then finally the Scorched Valley.
See. So now I know where they all are. Sweet. Is there any, so she will, well, assuming that that's probably, would that be already notated in this commune, or would that be something she has to like jot down while communing? Regardless, she'll put it down if she needs to, so.
Oh, yeah. I would say that it would be something that kind of like, I would say once the communion ends, there is this sort of like, I would say that as it ends, that those wisps of energy around you, they begin to coalesce, and instead of just disappearing like they had before, they begin to coalesce into an actual physical object. This like ethereal sheet of parchment. As it falls into your hands, you can see that it is this like base of deep blue navy that seems to be like a void almost, that you can just kind of stare into, and it seems to fall forever. And you can see that there are these like bright constellations on it that you can actually very much reach towards and grab and then pull at them to get a closer look at them.
Oh, that's cool. It's like an iPhone.
Yeah. And you can zoom in on these areas and look very generally at where they may be. You're not exactly sure what exists in these areas, except for the one that where the Golden Sisters were inhabitants. But this at least gives you a very clear idea of geographically where these things are.
Sweet. Okay, she will kind of examine it as the communion kind of ends, and she'll then just finish it off with a thank you. And examining it, and she'll turn to Alistair. Thank you as well for your help. This isn't exactly what I was expecting to get, but I think what Corellian's trying to tell me is going to these locations, I'll be able to find more answers about everything that I have questions about. And I know the Dowie is connected to at least all of these places for sure. So I'll run it by everyone else and see if they have any thoughts about this as well.
Okay.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just started. I'm so sorry. You probably have
No,
no idea what I'm rambling on about. I
mean, you're
brain-
right. It's adorable. It's really a lot of fun to listen to, but I do have no idea what you're talking about.
It's just, I have so many more. It's like every time I get an answer, I have more questions, and but that's all right. I'll just talk to everybody once they're all woken up. It's just very interesting. But
so,
yeah.
I hate to cut you off, but those ones up there on the ceiling still, do those go away, or are those just there forever? Kind of look up, and there are literally like still wisps of cosmic energy and like astral energy still floating up above you, like all around the ceiling.
I think they'll go away. I don't know if that's ever happened before. Granted, I've been communing way more often with Corellian than I have in the entirety of my life during this journey, so that could be why.
Okay.
Lila will try and like get on the bed and see if she can like. She's not the tallest person. She's not super short. Can she like wisp it away with her hand? Just kind of like cobwebs.
Yeah, and as you do, you sort of reach up to them and do grab a hold of them. Eventually, as opposed to like dissipating, they just kind of are like absorbed into your skin as you sort of grab onto them. And you can just see these like all around your fingers and hands where those small wisps hit. There is like this slight, almost like a Starry Night sort of imagery, that your skin is just kind of like a little bit desaturated in those areas, and these kind of wisps all around. Not in a sickly way, but in this sort of like difference that almost looks like a very, very light, like very low opacity tattoo that starts at your fingertips
cool.
and moves up to about your elbow.
That is so cool. I hope that stays. She's going to look down at her hands and say, you know, I'm going to have to really get used to just physically changing, I guess, on this journey, because this is like the third thing that I've dealt with where my physical appearance has aggressively changed. I don't know if this one's going to last, but the others didn't, so.
Obviously, your life is your life, and you can do whatever you want. Dream your dreams, right? Have you ever thought about maybe pursuing something not this, if that's something that happens so frequently?
Well, what's the fun in that? So, because like, the only one that was really bad was when I almost had a beard. That one was terrible, but everything else has been kind of fine. I mean, I just changed colors for a little bit. Looked very like winter vibe, but yeah.
I mean, I will say, obviously, you know, if you don't want a beard, that's fine. But there are some dwarf women that I've seen that a strong enough, confident enough woman can really rock a beard. All right, there's nothing.
No, for real. I don't know if I could, but you know, if that's the arc I had to go through, I guess I would have learned to love it. Maybe braid it. I don't know. Eurydice was helping me through that, but got that solved. So had some cool looking eyes though. So. But the worst part was that it was evil magic influence. So that was the bad thing, not the beard part. But anyway, but this is kind of cool. Never had this before.
Yeah, it is very cool looking. I hope that it's permanent if that's what you want. I hope you don't get a beard because that's what you want. I think that whenever you and the rest of your friends, all lovely people, I think, can you ask the powers that be to give you a break or a vacation or something? Because this is... I've been around you for like 3 days, and it has been non-stop.
Yeah. I think
Like,
we'll get a break when we go to Hearthcrest. I don't know if this is the town to really rest in. Did you feel funny when you woke up? And not like that. Like,
and
different kind of funny.
I had this tingle. It was weird. I don't know.
Me too. I wonder if everyone else is feeling that as well.
I also... It was weird. The first night I stayed here, and the second night when all of you arrived, there was a lot of nightmares. I barely remembered any of them. It made me want to leave, but last night there was nothing.
Same. It was like my head was empty. Which is weird. Like, not even like a good dream, which, I don't know, I have an always moving mind. I feel like it never is quiet like that.
I don't know. Jinx.
Like I said, this is not the place to catch a break. But maybe once we're done here, but there's something going on and we're going to solve it. I know it.
Yeah. Well, if anyone can, it is definitely the 5 of you. And that the large woman, never got her name.
Keothi?
Keothi. Oh, that's such a nice name. I guess 6 then. It's blossom in the hand, 4 of you. But I'm sure you've got it. Nose to the grindstone. I'll keep my ears peeled, and we will figure something out.
Yes, and your help has been so appreciated. So just keep up whatever you're doing. And she will then again say thank you to him, and she will head downstairs and get some coffee and just kind of like be mulling over everything, waiting for everyone else to get up.
Okay, Lila, as you head downstairs, we're going to cut away from you, and we're going to, as Lila, you're heading down the stairs, you can see Nalfian heading up the stairs.
Oh, what an eventful morning.
Yeah, and Nalfian, do you want to describe what Nalfian is currently carrying in his hands as Lila's making her way down the stairs?
Yeah. So, you can see that he's clearly been up for a while as well. He's already fully dressed. And it looks like a meal that Nalfian would not eat. It is like the smallest, little daintiest. They're like pancakes, but mini pancakes, and they have like blueberries
Silver
and
dollar pancake.
yeah, little silver dollar pancakes, and there's like blueberries and blackberries, a bunch of different little berries all over it. And like a glass of some type of juice. But that's what he has.
Yeah.
And he just kind of gives Lila like a nod.
But you'll see Lila's hands are cosmic. I mean, she's not hiding them, but she will also give him a nod, not thinking about her cosmic hands, and then continue on down the stairs.
Yeah, he like opens his mouth as she walks by, like he's gonna say something, and then confused, just slowly closes it and continues up the stairs.
Yeah, she's
What's
going to
new?
deduce that's a twig breakfast, so she won't ask, but yeah.
Noted for later. Lila changes colors in many ways. But yeah, he will, with his little breakfast, that is for Twig, head upstairs back into her room, and just kind of peek inside to see if she's woken up yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely at this point, considering Nalfian's affinity for trance and how he is an elf and can just kind of focus for those 4 hours and then wake up. Same thing happened with Nalfian, where there was just kind of a blink and then his eyes opened and there was no nightmare, no nothing, and that slight tingle all over his body.
Mm. Interesting, okay.
But as you make your way in, Twig is still asleep.
Okay. Then he will just kind of set the food on like a nearby table and just kind of gently kneel down beside her bed. He feels bad waking her up, but just kind of give her a little nudge.
Good morning.
Morning. I have a gift for you. And he will like present the little breakfast.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Were you making people
Go.
breakfast?
All right, so well, I was making you breakfast.
Oh, why?
Yeah, that's what people say. He has a smile on his face, and he says, "Okay, you got me. I wanted to talk to you, but I wanted to get back in your good graces first. So this is my offering." And you can tell he's like smiling when he says it, but there's also a look on his face that says, "Please God, accept my gift."
Oh, well, you didn't need to do anything like that. But it's still nice. She's just gonna like awkwardly pick up like one of the little I guess pikelets or whatever, and just like eat it and give just like a little awkward smile.
Yeah, he's not gonna awkwardly just stand there and watch her eat. He's just gonna sit, He'll sit on the bed just next to her as she's eating. Alright, so you don't have to say anything. This is just my peace offering to you because I have noticed over the last few days you've been acting differently towards me. So there's a few things that I wanted to say. And I've also noticed, Twig, lately you have appreciated honesty over nothing. I have myself and maybe a few others have a really good way of saying a lot and not saying a lot at the same time. So he takes like a deep breath. The other day, with the visions or dreams or whatever those creatures made us see. Now, I don't want you to tell me what you saw, only if you are comfortable with that, but I wanted to tell you what I saw. I had to watch Malice kill Eurydice. I couldn't move. I couldn't do anything. I just had to sit there and watch. Now, clearly this woman never satisfied with her need to watch others suffer. I had to watch her kill you, Twig. I had to watch you die, and I couldn't do a damn thing about it. And you see, maybe it's my pride, and I'm working on that. Or maybe it's foolishness, but there really isn't anything I am afraid of. Nothing except losing the two of you. Losing you. And seeing that reminded me of when my echo was out of control and the night that it went into your room and tried to hurt the two of you. And I made you a promise that I would never hurt you and I would always protect you. And it scared me that I could be the reason that I fail at that. And now I suppose what I'm most afraid of, not only losing you, but is you being afraid of me. And I want you to know that I am not the man who you first met. I look at Alistair and I think any gods who are listening that I am no longer that man. But I know who I want to be. I know what I want to do with my life. I have that purpose again, and that purpose is you. I want you to build your home in me. That if you feel you're ever going to lose your way, I'm going to be here. And more than just physically present, but if you're growing up, if you ever feel like you're not good enough or second-guessing yourself or feel alone, I want to be here. I want to pick up any pieces of the past, whatever that may be, and I want to be the one to hold you up, Twig. And I will do whatever it takes to protect you from all things. All of this to say, what I've been trying to say for a while is, sure, I want to be the best damn knight there ever was, but I also want you to know that I think of you as my daughter. And I'm, let's be honest, probably not your first choice as a father, but I want to try to be. If you will have me.
In those last few moments, she would have like set the plate down and just kind of be not staring up at now, just like staring like down the floor, just at nothing, just like taking it in, not really giving any kind of reaction. But then she'll just turn, because I guess they're sitting side by side on the bed, and she's going to just first of all just wrap her little little arms around Nalfian.
I've never be afraid of you, Nalfian. And well, I guess I should say that in those nightmare things, well, you were in mine as well. And, well, you were never that mean. And so, I don't know, I knew something was wrong. But I guess it's just complicated. I guess it's the same. I don't wanna... I don't want you to leave. But then I don't want you to feel like you have to be here either. I mean, I know that you've said an oath and all that, but I want you to know that you can just do what you want to do. I don't want you to feel like you're obligated or anything. And I don't want it to feel messy.
She just kind of lightly touches the locket that Nalfian gave her.
He's gonna put his arm around her. Sweet girl, there's nothing messy about it. You're right, I don't have to be here. I don't have to do anything. But I want to. I want this.
Why?
I think there's always been a part of me that has. Family's a funny thing where I'm from. You know, I may be a pretty damn tough knight, but there's a lot of... Don't tell Grok I said this. There's a lot of love I want to give. And that's why I started a family in the first place. I never was given that. I don't know who my father is. Hell, my mom is, well, we all know what she is. I want to give what I never had. And I look at you, someone... You deserve all of that love. That's why.
I guess it's just that I feel like I need to figure out what, or I guess even who my family is. I mean, I guess I kind of know things about my mother and, well, So the same in that I don't know who my father's meant to be.
Right.
And, well, I don't know what all of it's meant to mean. And, well, what it means for the people I thought were my parents. Although, I guess I just don't know there anymore. And, I mean, even though you say this, and I am inclined to believe when you say these things, but I just... in the nightmare, it just... I think I'm just used to people not wanting to have me around. And so I don't want you to do the same or feel trapped in the same way as all that.
Big. He's gonna like turn her around so she can face him. I'm not going anywhere. I want to be here. I don't get sick or tired of you. I don't want to ever avoid you. If you're upset with me ever, I want to give you space, because I don't want to push you away. But I want to be here. We'll figure this out. If you want to find these people and we connect these dots, your actual father steps into the picture. It's not like I'm going to just disappear. I'm here. And you're stuck with me. You can't get rid of me. Sorry to say that.
Well, I mean, I feel like I need you anyways. I mean, if I am truly gonna, I don't know, help Hazard's Hollow and all that, I mean, I still don't know what's gonna happen or even how, but I mean, you and Eurydice seem to think it's possible. And
We do.
well, when you meet with the Green Lady, you're gonna be able to, well, be the thing that gets it back, right?
That's right. We both are going to be the thing that gets it back. We'll meet with the Green Lady. We will... Whatever I have to do, I'm going to do it. We're going to go back to Hazard's Hollow, all of us. Eurydice, Lila, Blossom, Grok, whoever it takes, whatever it takes. We're going to go as a family. And we're gonna take it back. And
Just
then,
that I know there's a lot of people that want this. I mean, Isabella's seemingly given her whole life to it. And, well, I suppose have gotten other people as well. And, I don't know, I guess I'm grateful for that, but I think I need you all because it's... well, it's different, right? I mean, sure, you're a knight, but you don't have to be. I mean, I want to be able to know that you want to be doing this. That it's not because you have to. Just because you can, that there's no conditions or necessities to it.
Nalfin is gonna raise his right hand. Twig, I swear to you,
No,
want
don't. Just... I want it just as you. Not any oaths or anything or any obligations.
He'll put his hand down and take her hand. I promise.
She'll just hug him again.
She'll hug him back. One day at a time.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be distant. It was just... I don't know. And I did talk to Lila about it too, and she's... well... she's just... good at being confident, I guess. And she seems so unwavered, and... I don't know, I just wish I could be like that.
You will be. Look at how far you've come already. You speak your mind. You put your voice in. When I first met you, you barely made a sound. You're still finding your voice, and that's okay. It's gonna take time, but that's why we're here. Lila, Eurydice, Blossom, I mean, they are very strong. And what I can't teach you, they can. And don't apologize to me. I don't know what I'm doing. So, if you just need to distance yourself sometimes, that's alright. I understand. Alright. And he's gonna, like, kiss the top of her head. You eat. We have a very long day ahead of us. And when you're ready, you can meet us downstairs.
Okay.
And one last thing. And he'll just kind of stand for a second. I do love you, Twig. I think more than you will ever know.
I love you too, Alfian.
He will smile and give her a little kiss on her head, and then just leave her to eat.
Nice. Okay. Very good. So with that, Nalfian, you make your way down the stairs as well. And I just said a thing in the aisles. Oh, group. Sorry, there was a loud noise of a thing. Oh, thank you, Raleigh Lahi, for the follow on or for the subscribe on YouTube. Thanks. You're not here right now, but that's kind of. I just sent it in the Roll with Advantage Discord server, which you should join if you're not a part of already, which is in the description or be added. Oh, there's another thing. 1SH1R01. Thanks for the follow. It's in the Discord server that we have, where it is it's like how people get like white tattoos, where it's just like the variation in tone. But it's like just like a more pastel or paler version of whatever color your skin is, Lila.
Yeah, which is like a pink.
So
it's pretty much just white.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's like a light
It
pink.
explains Nalfian's confusion when he walked by her, like, that's new?
Yeah.
Yuri's so excited about it. She's like, "Oh my god!" Like that.
You also, Nalfian, just a realization you would have had as you were coming back down the stairs when you were going. When you were going up the stairs and Lila was coming down, you saw that as she was heading down the stairs, Alistair was heading back up the stairs, seeming from the same. They were leaving from the same area.
Oh. Nalv would have given Alistair a very long look at, like, Alistair should know this look between bros, I guess. Like, what's happening here, huh? What's going on? But he didn't say it. He just gave him the look. Like, the fuck, bro?
The bro look.
That's my sister. You gonna fuck with her? We're gonna have problems, okay?
I think Alistair just would have like raised his hands up like you pointed a gun at him, like whoa, 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 and then head back up the stairs.
Okay, valid.
As Yuri's talking about the cool stuff, though, Lila's gonna be like, "Oh, that's not even the funniest thing that happened, though." She's gonna be like, "I saw Alistair in his," and then she'll whisper in her ear and just explain the whole like introduction this morning, and then giggle like to herself.
His thong.
Yuri's like got a hand over her mouth. Like she is like giggling as well. You had a very interesting morning, apparently.
Yeah, but also I wanted to ask, did you feel funny when you woke up?
Did I feel it as well, Joe?
Yeah, all of you would have felt it.
Okay. She was like, yeah, I mean, I can't tell if I preferred it over the nightmares or not, but I did feel kind of weird.
Mm-hmm. Like this weird tingling sensation.
Yeah.
Alistair felt it too. I don't know if it was like the whole town, which is just very strange because I was expecting nightmares.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of anything that would cause that, you know, as opposed to nightmares? Because no one mentioned this when we talked about it.
No. So it, I don't know, kind of makes me nervous that something else happened tonight after we'd done some investigating and been in the town for one night, so I don't know.
Joe, how
Yeah.
early in the morning is it, roughly?
At this point, it's probably maybe 6 a.m.
Are there any people downstairs with us yet, or is it very dead?
Very dead. Yeah, it is like you, Lila, Keothi probably would have come down, and Blossom would have come down before Nalfian and Twig made their way down. But
Okay.
So it'd just be like you four.
Yeah, maybe we just see if the rest of the town are any different.
Mm-hmm.
So you spent a lot of time with Alistair this morning.
Yeah, he was very helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Great. I'm glad you two are getting along.
And this is before Nalfian comes down. She's going to be like, and you and Nalfian spent a lot of time in that hallway.
Yeah? He,
Girl, if you bring up my stuff, I will bring up yours. If you don't want that, don't bring it up, so.
Hey. Well, I mean, he was just nervous about all the night stuff. And he acts like he's just very, like, cool, but he's, like, he gets anxious about things sometimes. And it's a little bit cute sometimes.
Yeah, that sounds cute. Just a long time to be out there is all. At night.
I kissed him, so that was the...
Oh, there we go. Now we got to the juice. Tell back from me a little bit.
Well, I've never kissed anyone before. Well, I mean, I did, you know what I mean.
Well, you better keep me posted because you know I love hearing about this stuff, and I gave you all my dirty laundry, so.
Yeah, I will. It just, when I figure out what this is, then yeah, sure.
I love that Nalfian will be right now entering the conversation.
Yeah, it's like showing up like right now.
Anyway,
Good morning, ladies. How's it going?
Good morning.
Blossom and
sleep
Keothi
funny
are
too?
sharing a drink on the other side of the room. Hello. Hey there, darling.
Yeah, they're now walking up.
What's
Hi.
going on?
We
So-
were looking at tattoos and cool stuff.
Yeah, so I don't know if this really qualifies as a tattoo necessarily, because
Yeah, notice
not-
that.
yeah. So, and then she'll like kind of explain the morning a little bit, pulling out that magical cosmic parchment and walking them through kind of like what the commune kind of gave her, that her theories that going to these locations that, especially that we know are connected to the Dowie as well, will help answer questions about and maybe put the whole puzzle together of what they started learning with the Golden Sisters. And then she will also explain that that's how she got her arms the way that they are and that she kind of likes it.
Did you say the Golden Sisters?
Mm-hmm. Do you know anything about them?
Not much, but it is something that when I went back to the Hearthstone after leaving the Runaways, there was many parts of the libraries that the elders had tried to keep me out of before that now they really had no grounds to keep me out of since I discovered the truth of my situation. And there were many books in that section about the wars against the Dark One. The first and second one, that was, in this existence. And in the second one, the Golden Sisters were mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Not too much
Like as
detail was given, but they were warriors of the light. They fought against the darkness, and it was said that they had sacrificed themselves in some way. Whether it be sacrificed their spirit, sacrificed their something, in order to make sure that this land, the land that they protected, would hopefully be free of corruption.
that makes more sense, because originally when I first was learning about them, I was worried that the star was an energy of the Dark One, because just similarly, and I think this is so ridiculous, there was a hidden section at Hearthcrest of documentations that are just like private, the section they don't want knowledge out for everybody, but they keep it there anyway, just under lock and key. So when going, I was expecting them to be dark entities. So with Finch, also just all the history I knew of him as a professor, I trusted him. Even though there were these moments that now looking back, clearly they only were attacking him. And unfortunately, everything went wrong for everyone else because he was there. And that's why he wanted me to trust him, and that's why he needed me to follow him. And that's, obviously, the reason why he needed us was to open that last seal, or not last, one of those seals. So, but it makes so much more sense now, everything, and like the manipulation. I was just so confused for a while, but I get it now. They weren't attacking me or the rest of the crew, or really even you guys when you came to help. It was just that he was there. I guess I don't have concrete proof, but that's my theory right now.
You were captured?
Yeah, and I wasn't even harmed. I'd fallen...
a Golden Sister.
Uh-huh, or at least what I think is a Golden Sister.
You can see Keothi just kind of lean back in her seat.
Keo, I want you to elaborate on that.
Huh? Oh, sorry. Well, I just don't understand why there are so many authors who blatantly lie. If you make a mistake, or you think you're going to make a mistake, maybe an annotation of some kind.
Volume 2, anything,
something, yeah. Exactly. An expansion of the knowledge. The thing is, and this is what you get for reading something that isn't necessarily a primary source. Instead, it's a collection of accounts by... it's odd, actually. Because when I was... Oh, well, never mind. No, she wouldn't know that. Sorry. I'm getting my wires crossed there. There was the book was by A woman, Selena Farron.
Farolina Farron? Yeah.
Yes.
I think we read either the same book or we both read different books by her.
Oh.
She was, before they basically started just hiding and locking up all of her information, she was a scholar at Hearthcrest a long time ago.
Oh.
Actually, I think I have. Joe, do I still have that book?
I think you took it, yeah. It's still
Hell
missing
yeah,
the
she gotta pull out
sections.
the book.
Yeah, it's still missing the sections that Finch removed, but
Jackass. She'll explain that too, that those pages are blank because Finch scooped them up.
yeah.
Cool.
I'm sorry, Bianca. I think there must be some. My book. I don't have mine with me, but mine is dated much further back than this.
Okay.
So did I fucking say Bianca?
Yeah, you did. I was gonna type Bianca.
Oh shit!
He was normally talking to Bianca.
That's
so.
a good. God damn it! That's what happens when you start to cross streams, man. Literally
Yep.
cross streams. So, yeah. Clip that. Jesus. Didn't even notice it. Anyway, Lila, I think that there may be either some dating error on yours or on mine, or an author error. The dates in my book were, at least when the book was finished, according to the author, was 900 AC.
Oh my god.
And your book, it seems, and she kind of flips around, was dated 1797 AC.
Do we know, Joe, do we know what Saralina Farron's race was?
She was an elf, yeah.
Was she a druid? Anything in that? She was an elf?
No.
But that's, you can't
far as
live
you know.
that long.
Yeah, no, still, unless she was a druid and got like the 10 times the lifespan, but that means she would have
Yeah.
to be like a 19th level druid. But no, as far as you know, and information you would have been able to gather from just, the position of power you had at the school, she was just a scholar. She was a well-known scholar. She wrote a lot of books and transcribed a lot of books, but doesn't anything like that.
That's crazy. Huh. I mean, I guess something's either incorrect in one of our books with either the dates or someone tried to manipulate information.
I'm sorry to interrupt here, but could someone explain what the hell is happening? Who is this person, and why are the two different dates causing confusion? Nothing's just like very genuinely asking. His brain can't keep up.
Yeah. Saralina Farron, as far as I know, was a scholar of also ancient history, and she ended up specifying in basically Dark One material in the end. And as far as I know, she was just an elf. I don't know of her being, elves live long, but not from 900 AC to 1700.
Yeah, 150
Yeah.
to 200 years at most.
Now, again, this
So-
really isn't my realm of things, but could it be possible? Because clearly, Keothi, as you've told us, and as we know, you met another one of me who is maybe not as handsome, but clearly still me, and very much older. Maybe your author friend was able to jump a timeline or two?
Or even, dunamancy magic could be the solution, because also Emerald has multiples of him, and
True.
I think there's a lot of theories as to what could be the reason for all this. It's just still, again, more answers lead to more questions and trying to make sense of everything. I wonder if she's still alive.
Would it be something someone at your school would know?
Maybe, but this information was in the restricted section. I could get in trouble just for having the book. Thankfully, my dad doesn't pay enough attention or listen enough to ask where I got this information.
Lila, obviously, as I had said before, I have more of a leadership position in the Hearthstone now. If you were to bring me as an esteemed guest into the college, perhaps they would allow me to see these records, and I could say about how I found a book by Saralina Farron, a graduate and teacher, professor, and scholar at the college, and I wish to see more of her work.
That is perfect. I love this plan. She's getting all excited. Yes, let's do it. Amazing. And also, my dad's going to have so many questions for you because he's an ancient history head of ancient histories. So he's going to have just be ready for that.
Oh, yes.
I don't know. Maybe he'll decide he doesn't have enough time for you either. We'll find out, I guess. But
Kyo's kind of smiling, and then like her face shrivels like a raisin, and she's like, "There seems to be a lot of baggage in that statement. Do you want to talk about it?"
No. And then you'll see like one piece of her hair turn white as she laughs it away, and then it turns back to pink.
Oh, girl, you need some help. Oh, man.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm gonna get more coffee though. So, and she'll get up and go get some more coffee. Maybe linger at the bar for a couple of seconds or two longer.
Okay. Kyo's gonna lean into the rest of the party. Has she always been like that?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
I think there's some things that need unpacking.
Oh, you don't say.
But now's not the time.
Okay.
We'll deal with it. It'll be fine.
Okay.
Nalf is gonna kind of. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, please, Nalfian, speak. That
I'm
was
not used to
weird. Why did Please talk.
Okay. Well, Nalf's just gonna kind of like look over at Eurydice and give her a smile, and he's just gonna ask her, "And how are you doing this morning, with everything we learned yesterday? Or, I guess, didn't learn?"
Sorry, I opened Discord and I looked at the Isles chat.
Ryan? Yeah. Everyone in the party eating good? Yeah.
One second. She's gonna
Thanks, Ryan, for derailing our campaign entirely.
yeah, she's gonna kind of look at the coffee. I've been a bit busy thinking about all of this and avoiding thinking about all of that. It's not great, but I am glad we might get answers, because if I have to keep just wondering and not getting any answers, I might go crazy, I think is the general idea.
That's fair. We're gonna get answers.
Yeah.
There's plenty of people to talk to. Someone's gotta know something. Especially when we go to this Greenleaf place.
Oh, yeah. So she might not be my aunt, but what if we actually have to go and face her? What if she figures out it's me? What if she, like, recognizes my voice or something?
Yeah, we'll let the rest of us do the talking. It'll be okay.
That might be good, because I'm not sure I can talk.
It's gonna be okay. One step at a time, though. Joe, were we supposed to go to Bishop Aida for the body, or I don't think they're gonna have a body delivered here.
No. It's like you would go to the temple and there's like a cooling chamber underneath the temple that's like magically
okay.
chilled, so that way bodies can be preserved.
Lovely. Okay, well then I mean, I guess just we'll wait for Lila to return and see if that's where everybody wants to go first.
So as all of you have,
she'll return.
and all of you, it's really just been quite a slow morning. You can see that sorry, I was just trying to I was just trying to find the name of the innkeeper, but my notes are a little chaotic right now because all this stuff. But you do see that the person who typically owns the merchant's last coin is not here currently, probably after working that sort of graveyard shift. There's just one person attending to all of you. Really just a nobody, probably somebody that they just kind of hired up off the street and just needed somebody to watch over the place in the meantime, and has been sort of like anytime that you've needed something, a younger man, a little bit of scruff on his face, every once in a while kind of nodding and getting you your drinks, heading back into the back room. Nalfian, the same person who would have made, he's holding, yes, that's right, thank you. The person who would have made the silver dollar flapjacks, and berries and all that. And so all of you, getting everything, sort of eating and drinking, getting your fill in the mornings, that way you are able to pursue the rest of the day with a full belly. So just for breakfast in the morning, whoever is paying for breakfast, just mark off 5 silver for everybody.
I got it.
Oh, okay, big spender.
Yeah, well, hey, she's the...
Emma,
I have your money, bitch.
Oh yeah, that's right. The ocean has mine.
The young man will come over and say, I just wanted to check, did all of you enjoy your meal?
Oh yes, it was absolutely delicious.
Good.
Mouth looks at Twig.
Yeah, she'll just give like a strong nod.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad that you enjoyed the food. I haven't been working here for too long, so I'm glad that I'm able to stick all right to the recipes. Well, if you'd be needing anything else, feel free to ask. Any more drinks?
I'm quite all right, thank you.
Yeah, I think 2 coffees, I should be plenty awake now. Thank you.
Yes. You all looked a little tired, like everyone is, so... I'm sorry I didn't ask if you preferred your coffee black. I put a little bit of extra sugar in there. Just seemed like you needed a bit of a pick-me-up.
Yeah, those nightmares really kind of mess with your head. Make it really difficult to sleep. Right?
Yeah. But, I mean, at least at the end of the day, there's, as much as I hate to say it, people leaving because of the nightmares. I mean, with what the Children of the Flame are doing, I mean, if I didn't need the money, I definitely wouldn't stay here. Well, have a good rest of your day.
Thank you.
And should you be needing anything else before you go, don't hesitate to ask.
Thanks.
Welcome.
She'll nod, and then when he leaves, she'll look at the party. So, he didn't seem to mention not having nightmares.
Do you think
I
it's
thought-
because of the paper with all the names on it?
Was Alistair's name included in that?
Yep, Alistair's name would have been included in that.
Okay. Because
And
I was
if
thinking
it
maybe.
has something to do with a ritual and, well, names hold power in them, right? So, if that somehow reversed it?
Maybe, but we didn't see any names of anybody else in the town, and they're still getting nightmares. So I'm not sure.
Well, because they weren't included in the ones that Lila was able to bring back from being burned. If they weren't included, then they wouldn't be able to be changed, and if people have been here for a while, as you would if you're living somewhere, then, well, maybe there was no chance to reverse it.
Wait, okay, this is Kayla talking. So, are you guys thinking that because Lila unburned the names, we are no longer being affected by the nightmares that are happening here? Is that that's your theory? Okay, I'm just trying to make sure I understand what people are thinking. That's the
I
connection.
feel like it makes sense, right?
I mean,
I'm like, maybe, but they also had the names of all the PCs. And it was like counting how many times they died.
oh, the died thing. I forgot about that. Okay.
All of you can see
Right.
Keothi and Blossom kind of off to the side of the table, both of their eyelids starting to droop a little bit as their heads are sort of beginning to their chins are beginning to touch like their sternum as they're just kind of like falling asleep and trying to shake themselves awake.
Oh.
Lila
Okay,
actually
okay.
finishing her second coffee is going to also kind of like with droopy eyes go, maybe I do need a second one. Oh god, or a third. Sorry, I can't even count. Okay, I'm gonna go get another coffee before we go, okay? Give me 1 second. And she will get up and slowly, lazily head to the bar again for her third cup of coffee.
Okay. And you get up and head up to the bar. You can see Blossom kind of, her eyes lull and she kind of sets her head down on the table and you can hear her begin to sleep.
I'm gonna get another one. I already had one, but I'm so tired. Jesus. I thought we slept better this time.
Okay, wait a second. This is
Maybe it was
Kayla
just
again.
worse.
Is everyone fucking sleepy? What's happening? Is everyone under a sleep spell? Is it just
Yuri-
what the fuck? I'm so confused.
Yuri's like practically falling asleep. She's gonna go to the bar and try to get another coffee as well.
Yeah, Lila's very, very tired.
Nalfi and Twig.
Yeah, Twig's similar vibes, but she's not drinking coffee, so.
Nalf's fine?
Fuck.
Odd.
Nalf? Yeah. Did I miss something? Oh! Just pulling up my Discord. Wasn't looking at it. Never mind. Now Fian is feeling tired. Wow.
I was like, what the fuck?
I was like, what is everybody tired? Are you fucking poisoned or something? And I didn't know. Sorry, I'm an idiot. I wasn't looking at
This is
Discord.
everyone. Why wasn't it just said on stream? Why were you messaging us individually?
Slow
So
reveal, dude.
Sorry,
Gotta
I just
build
ruined
tension.
that. Oopsies, I ruined all the tension. Yeah, Nalfian's tired.
All right. Okay. So what is Nalfian doing? So Twig's just kind of sitting in her chair.
Nalfian's not a coffee drinker, but instead he's going to look around the room because if he immediately, I mean, everybody literally just made a comment about being tired. He looked over at the other end of the room, saw his two other friends drooping. He thinks that's strange. And he's just gonna kind of look around the room if there's any other patrons in here and if they are starting to fall asleep.
No, you guys are the only ones here this early in the morning, which isn't out of the ordinary. This is how it was yesterday morning too. As all of you just sort of slowly, Nalfian, looking around, you can feel those eyelids begin to get very, very heavy.
Yuri's gonna cast Detect Magic really quickly. Like with her Eldritch thing.
As you go to do that,
She's gonna set up.
immediately fall over onto the ground. Just as you go to stand up from your chair, looking around, you immediately collapse onto the ground. Lila, you get right up to the counter. As you lean over it, you just feel yourself get limp and fall over the ground. Same happens with the rest of you as you eventually fall, slamming onto the ground. And a few moments pass and all of you open your eyes. You blink, that tingling sensation again. As you open your eyes and look to one another, you're still in the tavern. You all are looking at each other. You've woken back up. It doesn't look like the sun has risen anymore. But all of you had fallen over. You had fallen asleep. You're awake now, it seems.
Nalfien's going to draw his sword and immediately stand up and kind of make sure everybody's okay, like help Eurydice up off the fucking floor and go over and get Lila and just kind of put us all in like a circle together.
Yeah.
Lila's gonna check and see, does she still have the book and the paper from this morning? Or does everyone still have their items, I guess?
Yeah. All of your items are still there. Everything you had is still with you.
Can we tell how long time has passed since we all passed out?
None at all. Looked like you had just
What?
fallen over, closed your eyes, and then opened your eyes, and you were back where you were.
What the fuck?
Do we
Alright.
still feel tingly?
It's more intense now, though.
Alright, I'm gonna try detect magic again.
As you go to cast the spell, Eurydice, it fails.
What the fuck?
Nalf is going to say stay here, and he's gonna run upstairs to see if Alistair's still in his room.
You open up all of the doors. Nobody's here.
Okay.
No Alistair,
He'll make his
no
way
other
back
patrons at all.
downstairs.
Nalfian, each
Yeah.
step that you go down, you can hear the wood creak and break, and then fly off into a void. Each step you descend. As you turn around, there's nothing behind you.
Do I make it back to the room where
You
everyone
do.
else is?
It begins to fall apart as you move back downstairs.
Alright, we did something. Someone did something to us. This is
We didn't do anything. We
fucked.
barely had a morning.
Nalfian is gonna go and very carefully crack open the front door.
You carefully crack open the front door, and what you see in front of you is definitely not Wheat Hill. This is a vast expanse of a barren wasteland. As you open the door, Nalfian, the entire building just collapses all around you, falling over and then sinking deeper into the sand. As all of you are now standing on just what is a wooden platform with a few tables and chairs. You see that there are mountains moving closer towards you, as if they were fish in a sea, just swimming at you until they eventually stop, causing the world around you to shake, as all of you immediately fall over, slamming your faces into the ground, and as you lift your eyes back up, you're inside a cave. Inside darkness, your dark vision not working. All you have to guide yourselves are the sounds you have calling out to one another. Eventually, all of you find each other, grabbing each other's hands, and you feel the ground shake again as you collide into each other, closing your eyes and then opening them again, standing in that desert again. You can see what looks to be coming from the direction of the sun, 200 or 300 riders on horseback, getting ready to stand on the backs of those horses, arrows and bows, weapons in hand, riding towards riders coming from the opposite direction, getting ready to collide. As soon as they make a move to collide, you immediately sink into the sand again. You open your eyes and you feel water begin to fill your lungs as you just try to breathe, but it is just this crushing sensation, and it is darkness all around you. Freezing, ice-cold water entering your lungs, your entire body. You begin to grow numb and fade. As you close your eyes and open them again, you're back inside the tavern. Your heart racing. Back inside the tavern. No one here. The walls fall over, crashing into the ground. And you can see walls hundreds of miles high around you. You can see emerging from the stone walls, almost like when hands and faces are pushed up against sheets, how there's this impression of a person there. You can see these titans pressing against the stone, but just like hands and fingers on sheets. You can see them moving the stone, trying to reach out and trying to break. And as you look up into the sky, you can see a form begin to appear. Humanoid, maybe. Wearing thick drapery, robes of deep red and burgundy. A white porcelain mask covering their face with all of these things etched onto them, all these small runes etched onto the forehead and cheeks. And you can see these two small eyes from behind that mask. Beady black eyes. Not human, that's for sure. Peering down on you, but it is like fading into the clouds, what you see. As they stare down towards you and begin to speak, their mouth does not move. As this is generally what you see. I will say this once, and only once. You will leave this town. You will leave. I give you until dusk. If you are not gone by then, the nightmares will worsen, and there will be nothing you can do. Leave, and do not return. You do much more harm than good here. And you can see these hands, just like the stony creatures around you, reaching up and trying to grab you. They grab at your hands and fingers, pulling you deeper and deeper into the sand, this crushing, claustrophobic feeling as you are just surrounded by tight, compact dirt and sand and stone. But eventually, you feel yourselves begin to shake, but not in the same way that the mountain shook you and knocked you down. Instead, you feel yourselves shake at your shoulders, and you can hear a voice saying, "Hey, wake up, wake up, wake up," as you can hear different versions of Alistair going down near you, sort of smacking you in the face, splashing water on your face, as all of you eventually, one by one, wake yourselves back up. In different places, chairs knocked over, as you reawake in Wheat Hill. Alistair kind of one by one waking you up, saying, hey, what is happening? What the fuck did you eat? Shake, and kind of shaking everybody. Hey, wake up, come on. And
Alfine will go to punch him and then stop, realizing who he is.
Hello? Yep.
Yeah, don't do that again, please.
Yeah, well, you're the one who is... Never mind. Okay.
Nelphin's gonna look around the room. Who's in here? Is it just Alistair?
Yeah, it's just Alistair.
Lila's gotta slowly get up and, assuming her coffee is maybe spilled a little bit, but there's some of it like there, knowing that Eurydice can cast like detect magic or something, she's gonna ask her to do it on the coffee or something. Well, no, not everybody ate. Nalfian, did you eat anything this
Nalfian
morning?
hasn't eaten anything this morning. Nothing.
Yuri will do it anyway. For the third time, she's gonna try. For the third fucking time.
But still, Nalfian hadn't eaten anything because, like, literally everyone but Nalfian, so that's weird.
I'm just gonna see what's in the room, I guess, if there's anything. Or on
Yeah.
us.
No, I thought that he had, because I asked everybody if you had eaten or drank something right before that happened.
Oh, well, if that fucks everything up, then I will say that he ate something. I apologize. I didn't hear you say that.
No, sorry. I said, did everybody get their fill? Everybody got everything? So you all had everything you needed to eat so you could go throughout the day?
Oh, okay. Well, then, yes, sure. Nelfine had a little something. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
wanna-
No, you're fine. Okay.
Bitch, you're having breakfast.
Yeah. I'm sure somebody would have made him eat.
Yeah.
That's a quarter meal of the day, my guy.
Yeah.
Okay, then, yes.
So yeah,
Sorry.
all of you did eat or drink something. Just some of you fell asleep a little faster based off of how much you ate or drank.
So, does Yuri's detect magic go off on the food then?
Detect magic. Let me read detect magic 5e. I don't think it picks anything up. Yeah, this is not a magical concoction.
Okay.
Mm.
And Twig have a look and, like, I'm thinking with, like, a survival be able to, like, see if it was, like, you know, something else mixed in there.
Yeah, it should be more of a medicine check.
Okay, that's fine as well.
Yeah.
It's literally the same modifier.
That's Lila's specialty. So Lila will then maybe like with Twig will be
Yeah,
like
I'll give you
their
advantage. Because
efforts
your
combined,
modifier?
maybe they can figure it out.
What's your modifier?
Let me check. It should be like at least +4 medicine. +5.
I've got a plus. Oh, okay, I've got a +7. Do you want to give me advantage?
Yeah, let's give you advantage.
Alright. Oh, okay. The fuck is 18 + 7? A lot, anyways. 27. 25? Fuck. 25.
Okay. Alrighty. So, I would say that, yeah, as you're kind of going through the catalog of things that Twig would know, about nature and medicine and things that can be used that are more natural as opposed to magical. You do know that there is, with a 25 from the readings that you would have done that maybe Aunt Beth had that were in Sandpoint, or maybe small bits of reading that you would have done when you were in Highland Pass with a little bit more of an expansive collection. There is a specific plant that is found in the swamplands surrounding that sort of border between Iverion and the Western Salamander. And there is a it's called the Marsh poisonberry. And pretty much what it can be done is it can be mushed and then refined, like baked and refined into a powder, and it can be mixed into anything to cause this almost instantaneous sleep after it has been ingested for a while. And it's not magical, it's just a very, very harsh chemical reaction. And the other thing that it causes is this sort of heightened sense of this heightened sensation. So a lot of times what people will do, the people who are natives to these swamplands, is they'll ingest a little bit of the marsh poisonberry to heighten their senses. Because if you ingest just a little bit, then it only gives you this sort of tingling sensation where everything is a lot easier to hear or a lot easier to feel. So sometimes people will use that in addition to other sort of illicit substances from all around Illica to give a heightened effect to those things. But if you do too much, it kind of overwhelms your system and shuts everything down. Because all of you, all of you have been in the tavern and in Wheat Hill, and there's no way you could have eaten nothing over the past day and a half.
Really can't trust anybody anymore.
Nalfian, okay. Who's back? Who's making the food today?
It was that young man that you had talked to.
Great. Nalfian's gonna get up and go over to and find him.
Okay. Yeah, you make your way up, and Alice just kind of like, I'm sorry, what is happening right now? As you make your way back into the back, and there is, nobody back there.
Nobody back here?
Mm-mm.
All right.
Make an
Can-
investigation check for me real quick.
Yes.
As you go back there and you're sort of looking around for maybe
I was
some
gonna
specific
ask.
details.
Did he give us a name this morning?
No.
Okay.
15.
15. So there is dust and mud that had been tracked in from the outside, so you know somebody had made their way in here. But immediately as you go out the back door of the tavern and the inn, there's not really any tracks that are discernible to you to follow. There's so much activity that happens behind this tavern on any given night, it's a little hard to tell where
Right.
they might have gone. However, with a 15, you do hear somebody snoring as you're going up and around the back, and you do know that most innkeepers, they'll probably live on the premise of their tavern, so that way they're there. So you can hear what you presume to be Isolde snoring away in her private bedroom.
Nalfian is going to grab the others first,
Mhm.
because I'm sure Twig and Lila kind of explained what they found, and he would want them to kind of be there when he confronts this woman about it. So kind of gathering everybody up, Nalfian is gonna just kind of like lightly knock on her door.
Oh, I'll be there in just a second. If there's really a problem, you should really talk to the assistant that's there, but assuming that must be important,
It's very important.
right? And there's a little bit of shuffling around until eventually maybe 5 or so minutes pass. She does come to the door and opens it, and you can see she's dressed for the most part, hair still sort of pulled back in a messy shape, but she says, hello,
Good morning.
good morning.
Sorry to wake you, but we figured this was important to talk to you about as soon as we could. I don't know if you're aware, but me and Twig found, and we've all experienced it, an interesting substance in the food this morning, and we believe we've been experiencing effects from it from maybe a longer time than just having it this morning. And as you know, since I'm trying to help figure out what's going on in the town, I just wanted to know if you were aware of this and potentially maybe figuring out the source of it could help root out the issues that's been happening in this town.
All right.
Does she look nervous?
Make an insight check.
I'm gonna ask if I could as well, mostly on just if she recognizes like any of this as Lila's talking about it.
Yeah.
14 for
14.
now.
19.
Okay. Both of you can clock that she does look nervous, but this is just a big accusation to throw at somebody who's a business owner. It kind
Yeah,
Has
Lila wasn't making any accusations. She was just asking.
well, you can both tell that she's nervous. Even
Yeah.
with both of those roles, you're not sure if it's one way or the other, if there is something that she's keeping.
Right.
But you can definitely tell that she is very, very, very nervous.
I'm just unsure if it's been, put in some of your ingredients that, you buy. Obviously, there's not much coming into this town. I know, especially with my family, I really do understand trade, and that often you kind of get whatever you can when someone comes through, unless it's homegrown. So, and wanting to run a business, there's a lot of variety. So if you're just unaware of this, I wanted to make you aware. And if you were aware, maybe that there was like a new import or If there have been other reports letting you know kind of like we think we maybe found the source and maybe like why some of the issues have been happening in this town. I don't think we found the root, but maybe a piece of the puzzle.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check, Lila.
Yeah. Okay. Big ol' nat 20, baby.
Hey!
Yo.
Hell yeah.
Listen, I've lived in this town my entire life, and I love it more than anything. I don't want it to fall to pieces, and I've been hearing so much stuff about what's been happening in other places in the Riverlands, so I just... When the nightmares first started happening, we didn't think much of it. Everyone has bad dreams every now and then, but they started to be persistent. They started to get worse. And then any time there'd be a mass exodus where people would leave, it was always when a really, really, really bad dream would happen, and then the dreams would get worse. Worse and worse and worse and worse. But then people stopped leaving. They buckled down and said that no matter what happened, they would stay and they'd try and help fix the town, like me. A lot of people did that. Well, there was a traveler who came to town one day, heard about what was happening, and suggested a type of remedy that could help. The Marsh poison berry said that in small doses, it'll help you fall asleep. Make it easier so the nightmares don't come as much. Or if they don't at least fix the nightmares, people will at least be able to fall asleep easier. The nightmares still might come, but at least they'll still be able to sleep. And well, I just wanted to try and fix the town. So I just started doing what he said to do, and I started to see results. People would sleep. There were no more night terrors. No one would wake up screaming, but anytime someone woke up well, at first it was just people who ate here, and then it was anybody in town, they woke up feeling tingly. I took that as a good thing. It was just the body reacting to getting sleep again. So
You can't just put stuff on people's food without them knowing. You know that, right?
I do want to ask if I believe her.
Yeah, make an insight check.
An 11?
She, as far as you can tell, she does seem genuine. Very nervous. Sort of saying that, but I mean, if anybody can help, can actually help.
Right.
I know, but no
So
one
you're gonna
else
stop.
was helping.
This is something that you could have offered people. You don't just poison people. That's not helping.
It's
making things worse.
no, but it's not. The name
We
is
need the
deceitful,
name.
but it's not actually
need-
poison. It won't kill you.
No, but some other things may have a different opinion on that. From this point forward, you have to stop. Do you understand? Who's the name of the man who came to town?
He gave the name Ephraim Ashford.
chat, bro.
Yeah, I was just about to post it.
And is he still in town?
No, he left rather shortly after he arrived. As far as he wasn't very talkative. In fact, it was quite odd. The only way he could speak was telepathically. Never actually saw his mouth move. Don't know if he just was mute or what.
What did he look like?
It was I don't know, strange. Most of the time he'd keep his face covered up for the most part. He seemed like such a smart individual. Every once in a while I thought I could see maybe on his neck, when the fabric would kind of be pulled away a bit, scales, but not like dragon scales, like fish scales, more like.
All right. Like I said, no more of this. If you want to offer someone some sleep relief, you have to get their consent first. What you're doing is poisoning people. It's dangerous. People could be killed, stolen from. Anything could happen if they're just suddenly at the breakfast table and then in the next moment passed out. You understand that,
But
right?
that's never happened before.
It happened today. It happened to all of us.
What?
Just this morning.
That
And
new
friend had to wake us.
yeah, this other barkeep, he served food this morning and he served drinks. Didn't he say something about putting more sugar in your coffee?
A little bit extra, yes.
No, I'm sorry, there's only one other person who works here, Alison. Kind young girl, but I gave her the rest of the week off because she was having a hard time sleeping.
Oh, great.
She's not here this morning, and someone else was.
Can Nalf describe the man to her to see if she recognizes him?
Yeah. So as you described, this younger man, like I said, with this sort of scruff on his cheeks, the messy black hair, she kind of shakes her head. Sorry, there are a lot of young men in Wheat Hill don't know how to shave right. I'm sorry, I don't know.
Alright, answer this. Who all knows about your little special concoction that you sprinkle in your food?
It would be just me and that Ephron fellow.
And you're sure he's left town?
He did. At least he said he was going to. He said there was some business up near north in the mountains he had to attend to. He was very, very smart man. I promise if it would have just been some random feather who could barely tell north from south, I wouldn't have trusted him, but he showed me these experiments he'd been doing. mixing with different alchemical combinations, and he knew magic to boot. So he was heading up north, said there was some type of ruin that might have something magical that could help him help people.
I'm gonna give you a little bit of advice. Can't just trust every stranger you meet. Not everybody has good intentions, even if it seems like it in the moment.
But we also understand that in desperate situations, sometimes you're not always thinking as clearly as you normally would, especially when you've been sleep deprived and nightmare ridden every night.
Just keep
But I
a
agree with
close
Nalfian.
eye. Keep a close eye on who's coming and going and running things. It might be best that if you have to take a night off, maybe shutting down for the night, because clearly people who aren't even employed by you are stepping in and poisoning people.
She shakes her head. I'll shut down for the night. Need to go through the ingredients, make sure none of it is contaminated.
Alfian just kind of nods at her.
We appreciate that. And I understand that this was probably hard for you to listen to or hear. And I'm just reminding you, we are here to help. We're going to fix this, okay? And unfortunately, this was a piece of the issue, but it doesn't mean that you're a bad person, okay?
I just wanted to help.
I understand.
And you probably did. But in this case, someone took advantage of you. But we're gonna figure it out, like Lila said. Thank you for your information. That has done a lot of help. Don't kick yourself too much for this. You just keep helping the people who come in. Alright?
All right.
When she kind of goes, Nalf's gonna look at everyone else.
And I would like to say, before you say what you're going to say, Nalfian, sorry to cut you off, but
No, please.
all of you do know, at least the three of you who've been on this sort of Dowie ruin thing, is that north of the Riverlands in those mountains, there is a Dowie ruin there. That's something that you would have found back all the way with in the Lily of the Valley's office, that map.
Wait,
yeah,
I'm sorry.
Twice it has Marco.
Oh, okay. So where she said that he was going up north?
Up north, find some ruins. There is a Dowie. You're not sure. You obviously don't have any confirmation, but there is a Dowie ruin in the northern mountain ranges of the Riverlands.
Okay. Man, remember when we woke up this morning with a plan?
We can still do that plan.
Oh, we will. But just add it to the list. All right. What a morning, right?
Hmm.
I
what's
think
that?
that
Lucy's cursed.
maybe we stick to what we originally had for today. Maybe Ada will have some information on this man, what we just saw. She can clear some things up for us. We could still, Lila, you could still talk to the body. Hell, maybe that'll even give us some information on whatever this is, and we can go from there. How do we feel?
Anyone know what that thing was that we saw?
Joe, would Lila have read or studied anything reminiscent of what happened in the dream or what the thing was?
Just compound that, like, even, like, knowing what the runes were, like, even language or origin or anything.
Can we all just make like a collective history check because like 3 of us have read a ton of books?
Big brain time.
Yeah, we can.
Well,
we
Nell's just like, I'm here.
We can make a group history check, as all of you are just kind of like theorizing, trying to come down to something. Let me think about that. So, how many people are contributing? Keothi will as well.
Lila.
Keothi, Lila. You ready to see? And Twig.
I'll go help her if she can, yeah.
Okay, I need.
I mean, Nell can help, but I just don't know. This is not his area of expertise.
Real quick, are all of you proficient? Anybody who's proficient in history can participate in this.
All right.
I am.
proficient.
Finn was
I'm a
smart
hermit
boy.
though, so I read a lot of shit, but I'm not proficient in history.
I'm proficient.
This would, yeah, this is sadly, this is something that would be, even if you've read a lot of books, this is something that needs a proficiency in history to even attempt.
Yeah, that's why I was just thinking at least language so we can, like, you know, move to a better idea. Not necessarily what it is, but maybe, like, where it is? Yeah.
So then it'll just be Lila and Keo then, if those are the only 2 people with history proficiencies.
Yeah, just regular, not with advantage or anything.
Yeah, just regular. So you and Keothi will both make the check and then pretty much add the totals together, and it'll be a.
Oh, I see.
check.
Okay, here we go.
Go to Salamander Coast.
13.
13. Wait, where's Keothi at? Huh? Oh, she's in here. Okay, got it. I forgot that I put her in. PCs. Nope, NPCs. Keo. Public roll. History. +6.
Mine was also a +6.
Damn. So Keo rolled
Oh
an 8.
no, what did... And Lila rolled a 7.
No, sorry, Keo rolled a 2 + 6, 8.
Oh, I rolled a 7 + 6, 13. Oh,
Okay,
God.
so that's 21 then total. Keo kind of scratches her head. The 2 of you are talking back and forth. And the language on the runes, or the runic language on the face mask, absolutely alien to both of you. There's not a parallel you can make between anything that either of you have seen on the material plane. That both of you are completely positive about. Second thing is, the spell. You know that there is, both of you would be able to remember that there is a spell called Dream. Now, Dream, what it allows you to do is, it's a 5th level spell, so it's a fairly powerful spell. It is in the 5th tier of magic, in a more meta sense. So pretty much it allows one person for 1 minute to target one creature and shape and change their dreams in whatever way they want. They can do this in a positive way, or they can do this in a negative way. And the thing is, it has an effect where you can, if you decide to turn this into more of a nightmarish, monstrous, horrific imagery, it can actually have the effect to hurt someone, dealing psychic damage to them. So you know that spell exists, but it's for one person, targeting one person for 1 minute. Like, it's very, very small in terms of its focus. Where this seems to be affecting an entire group of people, an entire town, in fact, an entire region of the world, entire region of Iverion that it's affecting. So that's strange to all of you, to the 2 of you as you're discussing that. The other thing to note is that in your talking, and the rest of the group would aid in this, as far as you know, the only people that have died have not been from nightmares. It's just been from the people that the Children of the Flame have hurt. as far as the rest of you are aware, nobody else has died from nightmares. They've just fled the Riverlands, and that's it. But
Wait,
that's about
sorry. Was the damage it does or it can do?
It can do.
Okay.
So pretty much it's up to the caster of the spell if they would like to damage and hurt people with the spell.
Right.
So it doesn't seem like that spell particular, because it seems more like an effect once you enter this space. Maybe it could be, obviously, that spell is the root spell and it's modified and it's something really big. But I don't know, I think it's still different.
They could do, if it is, then they could do damage, but they're choosing not to. So they
Right.
just want people to leave.
I don't know if it's a want.
It could just be an effect from the derivation of whatever this spell is. It can affect more people, but it's not enough to hurt them.
Maybe.
It only seemed to get more intense when people were refusing to go, though. Right?
But I don't know if it's, I mean, it definitely could be they're wanting them to leave, but I don't know, in a way, what is the reason for wanting, obviously the person thing wanted us to leave because we're working on it, but like, wouldn't they want them to stay? Maybe in a way it's like feeding on the nightmares.
Well,
I just don't think we have enough saying for sure that's trying to get people to leave, because they hunkered down, these people.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but clearly there's some sort of danger here. Maybe, if that's the theory that we're just tossing around, by getting people out, by trying to push people out, it's putting them out of danger. I mean, the only people who've died around here are those who are hung by the Children of the Flame. The nightmares aren't killing people, they're just pushing them away. The Children of the Flame are killing people.
Right. Joe, last time, I feel like I'm remembering this, but I want to just double check. Did we conclude that this energy was coming from the burned down temple? Wasn't there something tying us to that, or we had a hunch, or Kyo said something that it was like connected to energy from or magic, or like it's linked somehow?
I believe there was a theory that all of you had that between the temple, what was happening at the temple, and at Yuri's home, her parents' home, it was like seeping into the ground like an infection. And it seems to be that the nightmares started happening in this area maybe, let's see, what would that be? Like 4 to 6 months after that sort of infection started to appear on the temple grounds and at Yuri's home, while her mother's home was her aunt's home was supremely unaffected by anything that was happening with the infection. So the nightmares started happening shortly after. So there is some correlation between the start of the nightmares and the infection of the temple and of Yuri's home. But I don't think that you found anything that directly connects them. I think it was just a hunch.
Okay.
If anybody has anything in their notes that proves that wrong, I'm more than happy to hear it. But as far as my memory...
I think you're right.
Okay, yeah. Because, like I said last session, there was an immediate change in everything as you stepped from one area to another. Like, surrounding the temple, it was like you entered like a bubble of evil. You know, it was just...
Evil bubble.
Evil bubble.
Bubble of evil.
Bubble of evil. Yes.
That's like the dirty bubble.
I was thinking that too.
Well, again, I'm going to repeat it. More answers lead to more questions. But I feel like we have some really good pieces that maybe as we go throughout our day, we will start to be able to connect more things, which will hopefully just lead to answers and less questions. But I did want to ask about its warning that we should leave by dusk.
Could just be. It could just be a scare tactic. It's possible that. I mean, you guys didn't recognize any of the writing. We've never seen this thing before. It could be that it's just something to try and scare us away. It doesn't seem out of character for the Dark One or Day.
Is it worth risking to stay, though, to find out?
The nightmares are getting worse anyway. If we leave, then we've just stopped ourselves from helping.
I think we need to do as much as we can today and get as many answers before the sun goes down. And we take it from there. The nightmares are getting worse, but if they have the power to harm us in our dreams, what's stopping them from doing so if we don't heed their warning?
But why wouldn't they have already? Why'd they give a warning? That's also weird.
That's a good point. I mean, like Eurydice said, maybe it is just a scare tactic. Seems like that's what they want to do for everyone. Scare people, make them leave. Either way, we're taking a risk.
If we don't want to leave completely, I mean, it just wanted us to leave the city, right? And, well, if your people have a camp outside of it, Keothi, then maybe we can leave without leaving?
I thought we needed to go see the huntsman anyway, right? Tonight?
That's right.
So we'll be out of the city, stay there all with Keothi's people. So I guess we're doing it for one night at least.
Yeah, because it did say never come back.
Yeah.
Alright.
If it can only reach us in, well, dreams, and we're certainly not going to eat any more of this food. So it wouldn't matter if we come back during the day, right? Would it even be able to do anything?
I don't know.
Let's use our time that we have, and let's go try to get some answers.
Was this done as you guys were walking to the temple for the Speak with Dead session?
Yes.
All right. I will say, just in the interest of brevity, Keothi would be heading there with you because she's kind of helping with this investigation. Blossom is going to stay behind with Alistair again, just to make sure that they're going to do a little bit of investigation by themselves around town to see if they can discover anything since the tavern shut down.
Like, nab him. You know? The one
Nab
who...
him.
Ounce him.
All right. Okay.
Jumping him in the streets.
Amazing. Hey, you! Get over here! Okay. Alrighty. So, yeah, that's totally fine. So, all of you begin to head towards the Temple of the Nine Divines within the city of Wheat Hill as Blossom and Alistair head out to do some investigation of their own. On that note, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back at, let's say a 10-minute break, just because I have a feeling I might be sitting for a little longer than 2 hours when we get back. So we'll go ahead and be back. We'll take a break for 10 minutes. So we'll be back at 40, whatever that is. Okay? 40, whatever it is for you. And we'll be right back.